Hi, everyone. You are listening to Spirit Switchboard. I am your host, kerrilynn.shellhorn, and you are listening to us live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 107.7 FM out of New Orleans, USA, and 105.3 Gulf Coast, USA. To see all of the updated information about the amazing shows that UPRN has, please head to uprntalkradio.com and follow them on all of their socials. And you can find all of our archived shows on all major podcast platforms. There's so many shows with UPRN. Please check them all out. And if you would like to watch us live, we are broadcasting live on Roku, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. We are all over the place. The guest that I had tonight is Sam's Pretty Paranormal. She had to reschedule. She is coming back at the end of January. So I'm pretty excited that she's able to reschedule and that she's going to come back on, or that she's going to come back on. So this morning when I did a shout out this morning, like I normally do on Fridays on social media, just kind of giving the lowdown of who's going to be on the show on that night, things that are coming up for me. And my sweet soul sister, friend, and colleague, Lisa Crick, said that she would be here, and in my full ADHD-ness did a, hey, if you want to come on, I'll send you the link. And she agreed, because she is fabulous and down for talking about all things divination tools. So I'm glad that she's going to be here. I know, sassy me. I have my sassy, it's not even sassy pants. It's a sassy jumpsuit romper thing. And if anybody, if you know me, I just, if I could go a day without wearing pants, I'm happy. Skirts. Or stretchy pants, at least, where my belly's got some room. Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much, Michelle, for your endless encouragement and support. I am super grateful for that. Hi, Tanya. So I don't know if you guys feeling sassy. Yes, I am, Michelle Plummer. Yes, Heidi, it is Sam. And I love her too. So I'm glad that we were able to get another date for her. If you guys have not followed Sam on YouTube, please head to Sam's Pretty Paranormal. She's got a great channel there. Heidi, did you watch her segment? Oh my gosh. George Jones, her George Jones ones. I just finished watching. Oh, hi, Wojo. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry that I missed your call. Things have been kind of crazy. I hope that you guys are good. For those of you who are listening or joining me in the chat, Wojo is part of Bigfoot Banter with Richie B. Follow them on all of their socials. They've got a lot of exciting things going on, and they have been on Spirit Switchboard as well too. And you can watch that or listen to that archive as well too. Thousands of shows, folks. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Contessa. So when I was preparing for this, originally, until Lisa, she may regret sticking her hand up and volunteering. We'll see. But I was so glad she did. I have not done a whole show on my own before. And I know me as a social person, I do well when I have that person that I can volley off of and have that conversation with, right? And so I had sent Lisa, oh my God, hair mouth. Sam does do awesome work. I agree, Bojo. So I sent Lisa this picture that, no stress if she can't get here by, the time we start. And I thought I was in a good space. And I took a picture of the desk that you guys can't see. And it is loaded. I have so much stuff in front of me to show. It's like show and tell. It is like show and tell. And it's funny, my son, that dad to my only grandchild. So my granddaughter, they had a parent teacher meeting today, and my son came to tell me about the parent teacher meeting that he had for Lily. And he said that the teacher commented that she really liked show and tell, and she likes being in front of people and talking, and that she went on and on and on. Like, oh, she's harnessing her queenie. Because this is how prepared I was for you guys. A few things, and then I'm going to bring Lisa on, and we're going to get this party started. So if you do not or have not, if you're new to me, I am a psychic medium based out of Guelph, Ontario, Canada. If you follow me on social medias, you'll know that I do this thing every year. I think this is my 7th year doing the 12 days of giving. So the first 12 days of December, I do an offer, a giveaway, something for those first 12 days. It's my way of saying thank you for the love, support, showing up to the events here, showing up and supporting me through Spirit Switchboard, all of the things. I'm just very humbled that I get to do this, and that I've been doing this for almost 18 years is, yeah, it really does leave me speechless. And I always feel very privileged to be able to do this. So twice a year, I do it at my birthday in the summer, and I do this at Christmas. So the 12 days of giving starts on Sunday. You don't want to miss it. The newsletter is the newsletter goes out on Sunday as well too. If you go to my website, which is just kerrilynn.shellhorn.com, I'll put that up for you guys. There is a place where you can sign up for the newsletter. The newsletter took me a lot longer than what it normally does. The newsletter is pretty, not that it's raw, it's transparent. I would say maybe a little raw. It felt raw, but I'm sharing a lot in this newsletter. I have an exclusive offer for the newsletter folks, a class that I've put together. So I do have the winter classes out on the website as well too, if you want to check them out. Hi, Lena. Oh, Heidi, that sounds brilliant. Heidi's just sharing, I just returned a library book on geomancy, divination, ley lines, earth grids, dowsing, dragons. So dragons is an interesting thing because that's part of one of the classes that I want to, or that I am offering, which is up on the website right now too, if you wanted to check it out. So I'm just going to put that up for you guys. So the website is down there. It's kerrilynn.shellhorn.com. And it's I just have the one class there, but if you do sign up for the newsletter, you'll see what the other classes are. And, honestly, whether it is my age and hormones or ADHD or all of the above, I was given this beautiful mug from my friend Richard Hathaway, who is part of the Carolyn's Morning Porch group, which is an intuitive mentoring group that I have. I do all kinds of stuff over there on Facebook with the intuitive group as well too. It's free. You get some exclusive stuff there as well too if you want to join us. Yes, Melody, the dragon for sure. So Richard gave me this mug, and I've always kind of had it in behind me. And I'm like, I don't know why I've never just brought it up, because I know that I talk a lot and end up having to take a sip of something throughout the show. And so I want to show you guys, look, it's this weird Spirit Switchboard mug with my mug on it. And then on the back, if you guys, again, if you have not followed along, you won't know this about me, but one of my least favorite questions to get asked in a session, just in regular conversation, is what my spirit guide's name is. Can you tell me what my spirit guide's name is? It like honestly makes my butt pucker and eye twitch. Like stink eye tight butt moment. It's a stink eye tight butt moment for me. And then I try to remember where people are at, right? So I never shame, which maybe sounds like I'm shaming right now, but I'm not. Who's your Bob? That's right. Who's your Bob? So I tell everyone that their spirit guide's name is Bob. Everybody's spirit guide's name is Bob, because Bob don't care. Bob don't care. If you can relax and tap into what their vibration is, and that's what this is all about. All of this stuff, divination tools, us, our own selves as the divination tool. We are our best divination tool. Bob, anyway, spirit guides' names are Bob. And so on the back of this mug, it says, if at first you don't succeed, try doing what Bob told you to do the first time. Oh, my Lanta. It makes me laugh. So now I'm going to use this mug every segment. Thank you, Richard, because it brings me joy. And I'm at that age of, if it's not bringing me joy, I don't really want to do it. Or I'm going to find a way to make it fun so that I can get through it. One or the other. It is an awesome mug. Yeah, so the Who's Your Bob class is Who's Your Otherworldly Bob. So it's coming up in February. It is tapping into extraterrestrials, dragons, fae. It is going outside of what a lot of people, when they sign up for Who's Your Bob, they're expecting loved ones and angels or these ascended masters, which they're all ascended masters, but we have so much more than that. Or people really want to tap into like their spirit animal guides, but there's just a whole lot more. There's more. And if I can share a little bit for you guys to relax. Oh, Richard, you're here. Thank you. Oh, did I get it right? Okay. Yes. It brings me great joy. And I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I've always kind of had it tucked in behind. And in that weirdness, fear of, having those things that you cherish and you don't want to break accidentally, or that was sort of the fear, because honestly, if you saw how much stuff I got on this desk, but we're just not we're going to clear, cancel, delete any low vibrating thoughts. And the mug is going to be fine and everybody's going to get to see it every week. Thanks, Sandy. One of the first classes. Sandy's just sharing my favorite class, one of the first classes that I took. So it is still Who's Your Bob, but is Who's Your Bob Otherworldly. It is. Well, I'm glad that you saw it on the shelf. So let's bring out Lisa, who's been patiently waiting in the green room. Hello, Lisa.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what my spirit guide's name is.
Bob.
Bob. That's so funny.
Well, I am, and honestly, I think that it's not a think. I feel. I'm gonna try to catch my words, right?
I'm not to a point where I can give people names. They're like, well, what's their name? Dude, I don't know. I can tell you what they look like, but I suck at names. But let's talk about this other stuff, this person that's trying to help you, right?
Right? Sandy.
Thanks, Sandy.
Yeah. Heidi is saying hello as well, too.
Hi, Heidi.
I know that what I'm about to say is not coming from it is totally ego. What I'm about to say is totally coming from an ego moment, but there was lots of learning in it. And I had other spiritual people say to me, they were quite horrified and very dismissive and demeaning with their comments when I said I didn't know what my spirit guides' names are. And they felt that the level that I couldn't work out of because I didn't know their name was not going to be at the same level as what they were in having that name communication. And so horribly in my head, I had a salty word, right? With a U behind it. And they didn't pick up on that thought. And I certainly have heard it when people have shot something my way, because thoughts are loud.
Right.
If you're in the right vibration, you're going to hear those thoughts. So then I was like, I've always just, in the way that I teach, the way that I work, the way that because I feel people need to be able to relax. And if they're putting the pressure on needing to know the name, they're holding their breath and creating a divide right away. And they're not just relaxing into it to be able to explore and figure things out on their own. And it really is a vibe. Like that's right, fluff, Denise, it is fluff you. So if you're a meat eater, I know not everybody is a meat eater, but like when you have that sort of turkey coma moment, so you've had your turkey dinner and you head to the couch and you're in that fall asleep place, right? You know who's coming into the room because you know their vibe. You just know that energy of who they are. And that's what your spirit guides are like. And the more that you just work with the energy of who they are, connecting your heart space to theirs and theirs to yours, you don't need a name. You can call them Bob. They're still going to show up. Oh, Miss Erin Taylor. I am so excited that you showed up.
Hi, sis.
Hey, folks. Erin, my newsletter, I finished it today. It was a long process getting this one done because there was it was a big one for me to put out in sharing some stuff for me. But I always put the guest list up for the upcoming month. So I added your name and a link to where people can purchase your book. So my newsletter is going out on Sunday. So all those folks are going to get a link to get your book. So hopefully there's some purchasing of Erin's book before she comes on in a couple of weeks. Erin Taylor, author. So Haunted Colorado, Strange Colorado. Yep. Colorado, volume 1 and 2. So 2 just came out. So, catch up and get 1, 2. And then
she also has some poopy books out there.
I know that's the one I originally contacted her about. And there's a whole reason why that I'm not going to share now, because that will open up, we'll just go sideways.
Okay.
It's a whole huge conversation originally why I reached out to her to come on the show. I even got a video for you folks.
Nice.
There is a video. Hi, Wayne. Thank you for being here. I just want to, there we go. Take this down. Exactly. That's the energy of the day. Woot woot. They're not, no. So we're going to rephrase that. And you know what, Erin, it's super funny. When I made the post on Facebook about it, I'm like, so if you load this into your cart, and then I was like, oh, I don't think I want to say load into the cart when we're talking about the bathroom books. So I switched it to add. I changed the wording. So it is the book. The books are about haunted, unfinished business, right? It's unfinished business.
Mm-hmm.
Haunted bathrooms, restrooms, washrooms. And
yes, not to say that the books are poop, because the books are really, really good.
They are not poopy books at all.
I've read some poop books, and this is not the poop book.
Me too. Me too. And I'm an avid book fan
Nuh-uh.
and promoter for sure.
Erin, I am not your biggest marketer. Kamali Ann is your biggest marketer. My dog always poses with books.
Oh. Well, do you know, I think I again, not think, I feel all of us need to support one another, right?
Absolutely.
Buy the book, share the class, and support one another. And
Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa is in the unfinished business too.
I am.
So fun. Well, yes, Wayne. And for those who may not know, our loved Wayne Malos is author of a vampire series that everybody needs to check out as well too.
Oh, very cool.
Hello, Kim. Kim, I don't know if you saw, but I shared your link to your new Amazon offering as well too on Facebook. So folks, if you're looking for a gift, stocking stuffer for that person on your woo list, it is there. Oh my goodness. Hi, Rhonda.
Oh my God, all my sisters. We are family.
So Kim Sage, Rhonda Harris, they have been on the show as well too. So they will be on all the archives as well too if you look for them. You are so welcome, Kim. It's my pleasure to share.
Her book is very, very cool, and Kamali is getting ready to model for that book as well. She just, I can't wake her up from the turkey tryptophan thing.
Right? Oh my gosh. Okay, where am I going? Oh, Grandmaster UV. Books rock my butt sack. Yes. Yes. Okay. I don't even know where we're going. Oh, divination tools.
Squirrel.
Okay, right, squirrel. Amazing group of talented women. I agree. So many folks here that I respect and am privileged to know. So, okay, divination tools. I think I would like to start with our own accountability first, right? So if we are going to do or use divination tools, understanding how our energy comes into play with it. So do you have some thoughts? Maybe, you know what, we need to roll that back first too, because I just had another squirrel moment. For those folks who have not had the opportunity, which it would be very sad, and are just meeting you for the first time, can you give them a bit of your background?
Background. Well, today is a really good hair day because I've been working outside trying to put a yard sale together in southern Georgia where it's not supposed to get cold and we have freeze warnings. So sorry about this. No, background is I've been
fabulous your whole life.
Fabulous my whole life. I guess following or the paranormal has been following me my whole life. When I was little, it is when it first came into play with my grandparents' house. And I'm like, who's the lady in the closet? Who's the lady in the basement? They had no idea who I was talking about. And then my grandmother, when I got older, said, oh, those were sisters that owned the house before us. And that's where they died. They died in the bedroom and in the basement. I'm like, okay. So I've sort of had a background my whole life, started really coming into it in the last probably 2 or 3 years. I work with Sam Baltrusis a lot with the Spirit Squad. And we just basically, it's a bunch of budding psychics who have come together to hone our skills on each other.
Right.
I've worked with Jess and Jessica, and I can't think of her last name. Every time I put on the spot, I can't think of somebody's last name, and they're
That's
like,
okay.
I'm
I'm the
sorry.
same. I'm the same.
Yeah,
I have like all these notes. Well, you saw I sent you a picture of what my desk looks like, so that.
it's crazy. But
Mhm.
Jessica, I've been working with Jessica, who's another really, really good psychic, and she has helped hone my skills in different ways than Sam has. So they were both good, but did it in different ways. I've worked with Carrie Lynn, and she's also helped hone my skills. I've worked with Kim Sage. I'm just like, I'm going to all you guys and I'm going, give me your skills, because we all do things in different ways.
Yep.
And you all have taught me that there is no wrong way to do it, right? Jessica
Exactly.
Potter. Why can't I remember Potter? It's like Harry Potter's mom. Come on. Anyway,
So
sorry.
Kim Sage is just sharing. I love sitting in Lisa's workshops at events, and the workshops are Black Mirror Scrying,
Yep.
Estes, going deeper with the Estes method,
Yep.
are the two that I'm aware of that
Yep.
you talk a lot. Troy Taylor's events and others.
Yep.
Uh, And you have given me an oracle reading as well too, which was brilliant, and I appreciate it as well too. And when it's a really big deal when we are energetically sensitive and we're doing this work at the level that we do, finding those people that we trust to tap into our energy is a really big deal. So I was really grateful that you did that for me as well too.
Aw, don't make me cry. People are looking at me.
Okay.
I ugly cry.
It's okay. You just leave.
So yeah, I do oracle readings as well. And I just started really getting into that. And honestly, I enjoy teaching the workshops, but the oracle readings it's just my vibe. I just love it so much because it not only helps the people that I'm reading for, it helps me as well. And I read for myself every day. And if I like the card a lot, I end up putting it on Facebook in the mornings as a morning woo woo. And if it resonates with you, that's great. If it doesn't, that's great too. And that's another thing. Everybody thinks that we have to be 100% always on. Not everything I say is going to resonate with everybody. It just never will. But there are some people out there that are going to go, oh, hey, that makes sense for me. That's exactly where I am in my life. There are enough of us together that that can happen.
And it's divine timing. You're going to see it when you need it, and and it will be there. Oracle readings by Lisa on and so TikTok and Facebook.
I don't do TikTok, but I've been thinking about it recently.
Well, it's a thing that I just did too.
How's it going?
I don't know how it's going. I've just literally, I think I signed up for it a couple of weeks ago, and I put one video on there today. And that's all that's on there until and today the video that I put up is actually of my mom laughing. And so, yeah, that's the video that's up there today. My mom is from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, which is about 8 hours north from where I live. And she came down to visit, and she left and there was no snow up there, and her sister is taking care of the dog in the house. And this morning they woke up to like over a foot of snow, and it's still snowing. It's not supposed to stop. And so down here we've got nothing. So I like, my mom was killing herself laughing because we have this group chat on Facebook, and my daughter's response to the pictures that she was seeing of all the snow was I would close the door and go make cookies. I would just ignore it. Just go make cookies.
I did not see that. I'm going to go bake.
Okay. So, Erin, I'm so glad that you popped in. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward. Maybe we can coax Lisa to do a drop in during your segment, but happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
I could probably drop the kids off at the pool for that.
Right? Party on the 13th, folks. Spirit Switchboard. Poopy jokes.
I love you, Erin.
I don't want to be here. It's grade 4 humor. grade, grade 4 humor the whole time. So
Oh,
it's dark mirror scrying and the Estes method. Do you want to? So
it's tweaking the Estes method. So if you know what the Estes method is, then it's just taking the vanilla version and figuring out a way to make it work for your team, or for you, or for, because everybody does everything vanilla. Let's think outside the box and try to figure out what works best for us. And as mediums, we not only hear what's here, but we hear what's here too, which is very cool. And there are so many different ways to do the Estes method, and so many little just twists and turns that you can do with two people, 3 people, 5 people, however many people you want underneath the headphones. You can have whole conversations. It's so cool.
Yeah.
You can do remotes. I mean, it's just so many different ways to do it. But yeah, it's all about the Estes method.
Separate locations. It's a lot. So she's going to thank you, Melody. Oh, Jen, my mom is on the other side of that door. She's on the other side of that door, and I don't think that my mom would pop in. I think that the way that my name is, I'm having to sleep on an air mattress in my office. I think that my name is sort of covering it up, but that yellow that you can kind of see is where I'm sleeping currently for the next 4 nights. Oh, you got to mirror scry with Lisa in the Lizzie Borden house. Oh my gosh, how fun would that have been? So James, James Squire, I did see your question about runes, and it's certainly one of the things that we're going to get to. And I have my runes here to show you, so we can talk about that in a second. Okay.
Kim does a really cool divination thing. She throws bones, and she threw bones for me, and I was like, so cool. That had me mesmerized.
Kim, I'm telling you, I got everything loaded up here. Do you guys want to see? So I actually put the rune markings that felt right for me on all of the chicken.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
So, yeah. And I think that, so all my different, I use bones too. And I think that if you're going to use runes, they need to resonate with you, that you need to tap into, even as far as the signs and symbols, knowing what your background is, what your heritage is, and tapping into what feels right for you as far as creating those runes. And I love using the runes. And sometimes, like how you do the readings as well too, you feel pulled maybe to, like, I have this crystal, or I've got this trinket, I've got this, like, it's different things that represent something. It could be like an acorn as well too, and you've got all these different things. Yeah, you create your own kit and how it resonates for you. But that comes back to being able to be, if you are taking ownership of your healing and raising your own energetic vibration, you will be able to tap in on that highest source of love and light, and pulling in from that very positive, high vibing place, right? And there's less still being vigilant about where the messages are coming through, but less concern about that lower stuff coming in during those times. So accountability with your own personal healing journey, I feel, is like step 1. That's what on my soapbox. I don't know. What do you think, Lisa?
Apologies if you hear barking in the background and panting in the background. My dog is getting antsy-pantsy.
Oh dear.
She doesn't get mouthy until I'm on air.
Oh, that's so funny. Do you ground before you start?
She says no. Yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And how do you ground?
My grounding, I will set and like start from the top and have this light come through my body and go through all my chakras and go out through my feet. And then my feet will just like grow roots into the ground. That's how I ground.
Yep. And that's how I encourage people to as well too. Like if you imagine the light of the spiritual sun above the crown of your head, above your head, and when you're breathing in, you're going to breathe in the light of that spiritual sun, and it raises that vibrational level and pull it all the way in through your full body, and then see it like spirals going out from the bottom of your feet. So it's quick and easy. It's quick and easy way to clear and ground and be balanced. I also teach people like the song. It's the scale song from, Doe a deer.
Doe a deer, a female deer.
Exactly. Ray, a drop of golden sun. If you sing that song, the scales actually go through your whole chakras and will clear and ground you as well too. So if music is your drive, that's another way, right?
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it annoys other people. So
totally does. Totally does.
I'm going to do that at work. Excuse me, guys. I need to ground. I need to ground. Doe a deer, a female deer.
I think I do this a lot too, even if I'm doing public events, is the hand clapping. So breaking up the energy and clearing the space before I start. I do this as well too. I clap my hands. So I have a bell that I ring. I think, did I move it? Oh yeah. Yeah. Look at us all jiving. What else? In my show and tell, I'm glad. Was the bell special for you? Was it a bell that you felt resonated? Is it a family bell? How is that working?
I'm sitting at my divination table and, or actually my oracle reading table, and it's still on my table because I use it to end my sessions. Because when I do readings, I pull in, I'll just give these guys a little heads up. I pull in my soul tribe, which is my angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and I ask them to contact your angels, ancestors, and spirit guides and higher self. And I pull them in and they pull the cards, and then they help me tell you what the cards mean. And then so I've got all these people or pets, because I get a lot of pets come through too. So I've got all these energies in my room. I don't want to sleep with all these energies. So I use the bell to end things and send them back to where they were. So.
Agreed. Jen, I don't, my mom may think that dinner is ready by us ringing that bell, but I think it's more the dogs. The dogs will be acting up thinking it's their dinner.
Dogs always think it's dinner
as well too.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, it was gifted to me.
I have a wand.
Oh, I have my wand somewhere too, but I didn't pull it out.
But we're not allowed to have anything. You can have a wand.
Yes, you can. We actually gathered up a bunch of stuff so that my granddaughter can make her wand for Christmas.
Because, fun.
Oh yeah, I got her this like cast iron purple cauldron, and it's this tiny little cauldron, and put some spells together for her, and the spells are like affirmations. So like an affirmation for her to read about being brave, and an affirmation for loving herself. And so she's going to put together a wand, and she's got this little cauldron. And
that's fantastic. That is fantastic. I love it.
Yes. So the rattle. So this is something else that breaks the energy up, again, before or after. This one was gifted to me, which is pretty special. sprays. So you could
Top
do.
him.
Oh, I can't. But Melody McClay, who is here, Melody Guru Clay, who has this fabulous shop in Sarnia, Ontario, called Mindful Jewelry and Crystals. Did I say that right? I don't know my ADHD brain, Melody, but you know how much I love you. You can find her on social media, and she has the best reels ever. Like, do you want to join the show and tell? Well, I'm going to show and tell some. Like, look at what the things I have here from you. My Fox letter opener is somewhere too.
Oh, very cool.
Right. So, yep. So it's a cat, and then I have the raven.
Nice.
This one too.
Nice.
And we're gonna get a little witchier. It's super gorgeous. So, those of you who have made or have had sessions with me or emailed, my friend Carol helps me out by answering emails and booking people in for me, right? And so she's made me mojo bags for my car, which are like talismans for anybody that doesn't know what a mojo bag is. But again, everything in it represents something. Like if you were doing the runes or the bones and you had different trinkets that you were going to read, it's all things that are meaningful to you, right? And how you interpret them. So when you're putting those bags together, you have an intention for each of the things that are going into it: herbs, crystals, trinkets, and you're essentially telling it what you want it to do. So she made me a protection talisman when I had a lot of people coming in and out of the house at the time. And she made one for my car. Hi, Tammy. I don't know, Connie. Melody, Connie is asking me a question.
Oh,
I'm not sure, but Melody may be able to answer that for us.
it looks kind of like him. It looks very Egyptian, the cat.
Oh,
and
Michelle,
I can't say the sat. I'm probably saying it wrong.
You and your neighbor make protection jars and place them in the four corners of my apartment. That's brilliant.
Nice.
And so it's a chicken claw, but with the silver bells and feathers and painted red with the ribbons. So what's interesting about this is I had it in my office. It was kind of like tucked up away, and there's crystals on it and the bells, and it went off once with one particular client. Whether it was the client or the energy, it was ringing like crazy. Like there was something that needed, and it was good for me to recognize like there was something going on. It was recognizing that there was energy in the space that wasn't. It was protecting and doing what it needed to do, for sure.
Dang.
Mm-hmm. Heidi, I agree. The protection salt bowls with herbs, flowers, and setting them out in different rooms as well too. Especially you could put it by your door and dip your fingers in, going in and out. And they're pretty. Like salt bowls are aesthetically pleasing, and people don't need to necessarily know what the scoop is all about. Hi, Andrea. Thank you for being here. Andrea is just sharing. I have black tourmaline above my doors at the house. That's brilliant as well too. I had wrote, I don't know if I have them here in my little list of things, but sigils as well too, right? You can make your own chalk if you wanted to be really clear with your intent and what you're using from start to finish, but making your own chalk and putting your sigils that are personal to you, whether you've created them or if they're part of your ancestral heritage, using those sigils for protection as well too. And honestly, we have sigils everywhere in our house. Do you use sigils?
Yes, but I use them for more like rituals where I'm honoring. So I'll put them on candles and things like that.
Right. So we have sigils underneath the water tap. So like, what we're wanting from the water as it's coming from the tap on the water jug in the fridge, on all the walls before I painted. I put my sigils before I painted. So like there's sigils on the back of a lot of there's sigils on the back of my personal scrying mirror, like the smaller one. I didn't do one on my big one yet on the back of my boards. Like I use sigils a lot. You guys use sigils? James is saying yes to sigils. Contessa is just sharing black tourmaline and selenite at the top of my front door, along with a horseshoe.
You can do that with your scrying mirrors too. If you don't want them to scry, you can put the selenite, clear quartz, or the tourmaline like at the base of the mirror, just to shut it down as a scrying mirror and just make a reflective surface. I just did a little video of that for a friend who has mirrors that face each other, and I go, dude, you don't want to do that. He's like, why?
So Heidi is sharing, I have drawn a sigil around my porch brick wall and use a palo stick to write with. Heaps of snow where you are too, Tanya. Oh, yikes. Well, I hope that you're safe. St. Bridget on the front door. So I last fall, I did an event at a theater where the green room was as small as a closet, and they had mirrors facing into you on everyone. And I had originally had done an event in the spring. And when I saw the green room, it was like, oh my, it was like in, out. I was seeing all kinds of stuff happening. So when we did the event in the fall,
you're in a freaking psychomantium.
I was in a psychomantium, and I loved every minute of it. So we hooked up a video camera from the psychomantium and then to a projector so that people in the theater could watch what was happening to me live on the theater wall.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. And so Michelle, Michelle DeRoche, who is our network manager, she's my dearest friend and supporter and cheerleader, producer here. She is the host of The Outer Realm. With her co-host Amelia Pisano. She said to me, she had given me a tip that I didn't know about. And she had said, when I'm in that space with holding a candle in another mirror and being able to just, if something did come out from the mirror that was not what I was really wanting to connect with, that I would be able to trap it down and get rid of it immediately. And I hadn't heard of that before, right? And shutting it down that way. Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, I didn't need it. I had a super schmoozy dude. He was so schmoozy when he came in, but it was great because people were seeing all of the things that were happening, and they were seeing things that I wasn't seeing because I was so focused on the mirror and in my space that the orbs and other things that were happening, they were able to see at the same time. So now that I have my other mirror, I'm going to see if I can show you guys. Yeah, it was in Harriston. And I never got any, I didn't get any of the pictures or the videos back for that event, but yeah, I have, if you are part of the Intuitive Porch group, I just got my scrying mirror that I purchased up on the wall. I used to do a lot of seances on the porch group with my daughter with the spirit board. And yeah, so we're gonna get back to that this winter. We're gonna do some before Christmas or during the Christmas holidays. We're gonna do some scrying on the porch.
Because nothing says Christmas like talking to dead people.
This is all about dead folks. It is the most wonderful time of year for ghost stories.
Right?
It is all about ghost stories for Christmas. And I don't, people get all wigged for Halloween. And I'm like, nope, that just opens the freaking door, folks. We're just getting rolling with Halloween. It leads up to Christmas and then it slows down by the 5th, 6th, 7th of January. I find it's starting to feel like I can have my long winter nap. And until then, it's like, raw, crazy. Okay. Cleanse your mirrors too. Melody, I painted rune binds on the floor in the middle and front door of my shop before we laid the floors. That's brilliant. So Heather Stewart McLaughlin is here as well too. She has got a brand new space that she has been working on with her heart and soul for the almost a year, right, Heather? It is called Come to the Forest. She has created a beautiful space in the forest behind her house. And is going to be doing all kinds of beautiful offerings from the building that's out there on her property. So Heather is sharing love sigils, created personal sigils and use them throughout my house studio when I cut down my trees along the edge of the property. Such a great tool that she learned from me. Yes, have finished driving. Okay. I was going to show you guys. Let's see if I can... See if we can do this. Oh, wait. We're going to try again. We're going to try again. Hang tight. Let's see if we can do this differently. Have you sat in a psychomantium, Lisa?
Yes. Yeah. A couple of times. Yeah.
I am kind of hooked. I don't know if it's like adrenaline, dopamine junkie or what it was, but I love scrying to begin with. I love scrying, but being in a psychomantium, I enjoyed.
The first time I did it was like probably 15, almost 20 years ago. And I wasn't in the space where I am now, so I didn't appreciate it. And I was a little nervous and scared of what might happen. But the last time I did it, I was at my lovely Monroe house, which I talk about all the time.
Where's the Monroe house?
It's in Hartford City, Indiana, and it's been featured on Paranormal Lockdown, and they lovingly called it the Demon House. So that should give you an idea of the type of energy that's in there. But he had a psychomantium built, and I had so many people that lived in that house come through. It was freaking amazing. I loved it, but he took it down because everybody was telling him that you're gonna bring demons out for that, and I'm like, oh my, don't listen to them. Don't stop listening to people.
So, okay. At the same time, though, for people who have no clue what they're doing,
they shouldn't go in there.
That's
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Just even any of it, any and all of it. So a psychomantium, Jackie, is a small enclosed space, usually, right? A small enclosed space with mirrors that are facing across from each other or into each other. The one that I was in, it was it was in every direction. And you sit with a candle, which in front of the mirror, and you set your intention, and it's opening a door for the other side to come through, and literally come through. They will come through and use it as a doorway. You're opening up a portal door, essentially, is what it is.
Yep.
But knowing how to open it and close it and deal with whatever may come through is super important.
Right. Well, with any of those, any tool, anything you use.
Even an app on your phone, folks. An app on your phone is no different than a spirit board or a scrying mirror.
An audio recorder. People don't think about that either.
Yes. Yes.
Did you figure it out?
I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Did we stall long enough, or do we need to keep talking?
I don't know. Potentially. I don't do this often enough to. There we go. There we go.
There it is.
There's my mirror.
It's so beautiful. It really is.
And look, Richard's cup that he got for me is right in front of it.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! So I'm really anxious to use it. I was taking forever to figure out getting the wall painted and the things that I wanted around it, trying to be super careful about, what was around it. Melody is asking a question about crystal balls. I don't keep it covered because she doesn't want to be covered. I've been told I'm supposed to keep it covered. I am naive to think I'm protected and okay to not.
Yeah, you should cover it. Mostly so you don't burn your freaking house down, unless you're keeping it in a closet. Because if the sun comes through and hits that thing, it can catch your house on fire.
So practical reasons, not fear-based.
Yeah, I would say fear-based too. I would say that you cover her because if you don't, she is a portal to it. And I'm guessing that your crystal ball is female because she called it a she. Yeah, I mean, it's a portal like everything else. You're using it as a divination tool. So it is a tool like everything else. She is a tool like everything else. And she really should give her time to sleep. But it sounds to me like she doesn't want it. Sounds to me she's maybe got the upper hand on you a little bit because she doesn't want to be covered. She wants to be open all the time to come and go as she pleases.
I don't have crystals that I remote view with crystals. So I don't know, would that be considered the same thing as divining or using them like a crystal ball? Like it would be
your
the same,
intention is to see through something remotely with it. So at that point, yeah. So that at that point, it would be a tool for divination, and you want to shut that down when you're done with it. I mean, you don't have to cover it, but you give the intention. Now, here's the thing that you could do with your crystal ball.
Sorry, Lisa, just a second. Sorry, hon. She is following up with, I feel she's not open unless I open it. And that I think is the key, is our intention. We have a clear open and a clear close.
Yes.
Where people need to be educated in, this is what a clear opening would look like, and this is what a clear close would look like.
Yeah.
And maybe we need to.
So maybe when you're done using her, just as a safety precaution, take a little bit of Florida water or holy water or salt water or moon water or something, and just on the tip of your finger, put a tiny cross on the top of it. Just a little tiny cross, or you can do a pentacle if that's what you're into, whatever feels right to you. For my mirrors, I just put a tiny cross at the top of them and say, this is now a reflective surface only. It is not used for divination or as a portal. So if you just do it, and even if you do it just in your head so she doesn't hear you. But yeah, I would take that precaution if you're going to leave it, because I think you can leave it open and on display, because I'm sure that it's beautiful. I've been looking at crystal balls and they're so beautiful, but just don't set it by a window. The sunlight can come in and seriously catch your room on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. It totally makes sense. And for me, it's more just Michelle Wilfong is sharing, that's what I do with moon water. Melody is sharing, okay, I love using water, so feel good using water to clear extra. And I feel it's about intention as well too. Like, you're telling it how you're wanting it to work with you. You're telling it how you are working with it. So having that clear open and clear close, and it's just letting your divine team know as well too. This is when it's open, this is when it's closed, and this is how we're interacting with it. This is one of the, I don't know if you'll be able to see it though. It's an amethyst, but there's like there's a key. Can you see that? It's all notched in there. So when I'm doing that remote viewing, that's where I kind of go into it. Oh, something happened with Lisa. And this is the other one that I've done. I forget the name. So Laura Lee Potvin, I always remember her name. I haven't forgot her name. So Laura Lee Potvin is a host here with UPRN. She has the Angel Rock on Mondays and the Thing at the Foot of the Bed on Thursdays with her co-host David Hansel. And she had made a post about a woman who does remote viewing with her crystals, and she takes pictures with her iPhone. Yeah, she's hopefully she can pop back in. So she remote views. So she goes in with her crystals and she takes pictures while of the crystal while she's doing that remote viewing and how she's connecting in. And it's wild, the things that she it's showing her spirit guides, and it is ETs, it is angelic beings. I forget what her name is, but if I find it, we'll look for it. But it's amazing what will show up. And it was just like a regular iPhone that she was using when she was taking those pictures. Yeah, I do remote viewing a lot. I do remote viewing almost every session as well too. So when the people in spirit are coming through, they're showing me where they're connecting, and they're taking me to places and showing me where they're hanging out with the client. And in other ways, yeah, I've done a lot of remote viewing. A lot. Installing bathroom cabinets. So I wonder, Lisa's having Lisa needs to, yeah. Let me just, we're gonna shoot off a message. There we go. Melody is sharing, when I first got her, and her being the crystal ball, I was sitting with her on the couch. She's huge, like 10, 11 inches. I went to the bathroom, and my husband says the couch is smoking. Doesn't take long for it to light up. And that's so important with any of those tools, whether it's the runes, if it is oracle cards, any of those things, sitting with each one and creating and sharing that energy to get to know them and how they're going to work for you and what energy you're putting into it. And you're right, James. Thank you for reminding me that it was time for station ID as well too. I'll put that up for you guys to be able to read. Just going to move this out of the way. If you are just joining us, you are listening to Spirit Switchboard. I'm your host, kerrilynn.shellhorn, and we are broadcasting live from the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 107.7 FM out of New Orleans, USA, and 105.3 Gulf Coast in the USA. To see all updated information on all of the amazing shows, UPRN has, please head over to uprntalkradio.com and follow them on all of their social media. You can find all the archive shows on all of the major podcast platforms, and you can watch us live on Roku, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Miss Lisa is back now. Let's bring her back on. All good? Can you hear me? Yeah. Oh, maybe she's not. There's some technical difficulties happening for Lisa. She might have to slip back in. Yep, Mercury retrograde. We're just going to clear, cancel, delete, and not agree to that shite. It's so funny. That happened. So I had Ron Moorhead on the show last week, and there was a lot of stuff that happened in the last half, and I kept saying it was just big energy. It was both of us having big energy, and it just, communication kind of went sideways. Melody is teasing you and saying it's because you said to cover the crystal ball. So she's like, the crystal ball energy is like giving you some juju.
I sent you a message on Facebook just now that said, completely lost you, crystal ball hates me.
Not true. We're not feeding into fear. Clear, cancel, delete. No fear-based tries of nothing.
Your crystal ball's got some funky juju.
No. Hello, Jeff Kirby. It is good to see you here. Thanks for joining us. It's been a while. So funny. And I know I need to finish with saying that she is saying totally kidding, but it is kind of funny to go there. And Melody's saying she's sleeping.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I agree, Michelle. There is some strong energies interfering with network today, for sure. Do you want to see so you can read anything: smoke, flames, water, mash freaking potatoes if you really wanted to. There's a fabulous medium from Brantford, Ontario, Diane Davis. I met her. Oh my gosh. I did. They were like expos, right? Right at the very beginning of my journey, I did a lot of those expos. I think anybody that's wanting to step into doing mediumship full time should do those sort of expos. It helps you discernment, pushing back energies, tapping into your own, hooking in fast, getting there, getting messages, people in, out. It's a muscle. It helps you build that muscle up quick, right? Doing those. So
those are hard to get into now, though. Those are very hard to get into.
Well,
I'm working on it. Getting that energy out there.
Big ones, maybe, right? Like big paracons, maybe, but like those psychic fairs and stuff like that are local. They're still happening. Maybe more difficult where you are at. I don't know. And it's been a long time. I mean, I've been doing this 18 years. So this is like 18, 17 years ago.
Right.
But anyway, so I met her there and she was doing readings with sand, like sand from a sandbox on a plate. And I was watching her do this. And so when we had a small break, I went over, I asked her, would you show me how to do that? And she's like, I don't need to show you. You already know. And I went, oh, She's like, yes, you do. She's like, here. She's like, it all comes from here. And it was like such an aha moment for me. She's like, it's coming from here. So it doesn't matter what tool you use, it is coming through you. So if you are doing your own work, which, right? Yeah, doing your own work, then it's coming through you and you're using the energy of the tools to just, dig in. And sometimes the tools that we're using are for the client. Like sometimes the client needs the visual with the tool more so than we do using it for receiving messages. Anyway, she cleared it, she put her fingers into it, put her energy into it, made her hand print on it and passed it over. Just immediately, right? Asking team to start giving me messages, and you turn it and move it, and it became fluid like water. It was like the images were moving in the sand, which is crystals, right?
Right. Yeah.
It's crystals, and they were all moving, and it was just boom, 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 boom. All the messages came in. So you can read sand. You can read
Bizarre.
sand.
That's
Yeah.
bizarre.
It's brilliant. Tanya is sharing, sometimes with anxiety flares, I find it tricky to not become a bit obsessive about protection practices, if that makes sense. Like I don't know where to stop.
Mm.
And again, is it just like it's a muscle, right? So showing yourself compassion and grace and doing what you need to do in order to relax, in order to do your practice. So, that it's and it's a lifetime. It's not something that is like a weekend warrior workshop and then boom, you're at it. It's constantly evolving and shifting and changing.
And like you said earlier, it is a muscle. You have to keep practicing with it and playing with it and shooting those free throws. You just have to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. Kristen is sharing, I'm just starting my spiritual journey, so I'm here to learn all that I can. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And my biggest tip that I would give you is really lean into what feels right for you and understand how your body is the divination tool. Your body is giving you messages as well too. So the more that you trust it, the more empowered you're going to feel, and the louder you're going to have that voice. The confidence and clarity comes with it, right?
And then my biggest thing for you would be believe in yourself. Don't doubt yourself, because I'm telling you, I still doubt myself. I'm like, how did I get? That can't be right, constantly. So to me, that's the biggest hurdle to get over, and everything else will fall into place when you learn to believe in yourself, love yourself so much that you see yourself through others' eyes, because other people will look at me and go, that was an amazing reading. You hit everything nail on the head. You did this. And I'm like, because I'll read somebody and go, I hope that makes sense, because I have no idea what I just said or what I told you. Second guessing, never second guess. Always go with that first gut response, because that's what it means something. Yeah.
Yes. So even if the person across from you is saying, no, it doesn't resonate, you just have to go, okay. And you just keep going. Just keep going. Okay. Like it's especially if you're getting it like John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt, it's just here, and here, and you have leaned into it. It is not your stuff. It isn't coming from ego. It feels like the right thing and they're done. Then you know that you've given it in the way that you need to, and then you just let it go. You just let it go. And
but you have to remember what it's like. I think, you got to remember what it's like being on the other side of that. Matters. Yeah.
Highest good, greatest interest, most amount of healing. Highest good, greatest interest, most amount of healing every time, right? That you're being of service for spirit, of service in contributing positive energy for the greater good, for the collective consciousness, whether you're doing energy work for the planet, sharing messages from people on the other side, or giving direction about life path and purpose. It needs to be coming from a positive intention.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And
sorry.
like when when she does a reading, she's so fast at it because it's coming at her fast and furious. As the person that's being read, I mean, you can only write so fast and you're only catching like a third of what she's throwing at you. And when she's like, does that resonate? No, I have no idea. And because you can't think that fast, right? And so
Yeah.
when you get off the phone or you get off the FaceTime, then you're like a half an hour later, you're going to go, oh shit. Now I know what, oh, sorry. Now I know what that meant. That's what that meant. And then it resonates with you. I apologize. I didn't mean to drop that.
Liza.
Shiza. We just have to remember that they're saying no, it doesn't resonate, but they're going to get off the phone and an hour later or 2 days later in the shower go, oh, that's what that meant. And it's all going to come together for them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're not there to get the feedback and go, you did good, kid. So,
and not needing it. Like if you're really truly being of service, it should not matter. You just doing what you need to do, and then you get on with your day over here and what the session was. And that's, I find for the most part, I can walk away from sessions, but there's the stories or some emotions are attached to it. Sometimes it takes a bit to process, especially if they are a little bit heavier. Thank you, Jeff. I'm glad that you are enjoying the show. Richard, I saw your question. Are there any tools that help people locate a portal? I suggested to clients making a numbered grid. Oh, sorry. I should have pulled that up. Let's put this up. Are there any tools that help people locate a portal? I suggested to clients making a numbered grid of their farm using pendulum.
You could use dowsing rods too. You could always use them like they used to. You originally use them for like water witchers, and just go outside and say, let's walk on this and wherever a portal is. I mean, because it's all about intention, right? The way you use your rods. So just go outside and say, show us where the portal is. And that makes the crosses when we get to the portal. And it, I mean, you could do that. It could be you, or you could do the grid thing with the pendulum. You could absolutely do that as well. What do you think, Kerrilynn?
I 100% agree. And I want to show you a picture. And look at me figuring it all out.
You got quicker this time.
This picture. I did. Look at me go. So this picture is a newspaper article photo. And you can kind of see her, like her hair is all here, and this is her shoulder. So this is the reporter who's interviewing my great-grandfather, and he's holding up the teacup that he is using to give her a reading. So he's giving her a tea leaf reading. But he used to he was a willow witcher, so he would use the willow rod and he would find wells for farms. He would help find those energetic anomalies on people's property. So I agree. Using dowsing rods for properties or portals, for sure. And if you have somebody that is really honed in with their skills as far as remote viewing and energetic land readings, they'd be able to tap in as well too. My concern with using pendulums, if they are not well practiced with their pendulum, that they can influence it in a way as well too, if they are not understanding or are not well practiced with it. But look how cutie patootie he was.
He's awesome. Was it Richard that asked the question? Was that who that was that asked the question? Was it Richard? Okay. If you have a picture of their land or several pictures of their land and you want to send them to me, email them to me, I can look at them because I do remote viewings like real estate and stuff like that. And I can see like elementals and natives and things like that. So I can give it a shot with a portal. I'd be happy to help if I can. So Kerry Lynn can get you my email address
And how
if you want to try that.
Yes. I was just going to say, and how can we do that?
It's DOGSNWOLFS. So it's dogs and wolves at yahoo.com. Because I like dogs and I like wolves.
Mm-hmm. Me too. James. Oh, so James, when we were talking about reading sand, James had made the comment, think of what can be heard from sand from Lake Ontario and Lake Superior. I grew up hearing my dad say all the time that Lake Superior never gives up her dead. So there's like all the sand and everything attached to Lake Superior. Lake Superior is like an ocean.
Lake Michigan might have some mobster ties in there. I'd be afraid to pull sand from Lake Michigan. We were going to do a show about criminals, weren't we? Didn't we talk about doing a show about criminals
actually, so we're going to do it. I still want to do it. I've got a space at the end of this month, actually. So Leslie Van Conant was somebody else that was going to come on and talk about it. And we were going to talk about prisons, prison energy, hauntings at prisons, and our family backgrounds attached to any of those nefarious sort of things for those of us that have family.
Nefarious family. Yeah.
Because it was shocking. Yeah, when we were talking about it, it was a lot. So Richard is
oh, fun. Now I want to see the pictures.
Farm. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I really want to see pictures of the land.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, we just all went sideways. Do you use runes?
No, I never have. I think they're really cool, but
No?
I've never tried to use them. No. My room right now is in runes.
I have like the kind of my office is too, with this like freaking queen size air mattress that's there. Crazy. So I have like, again, so like from a branch outside that's cut, so like the little cookies that you make with the wood ones. So of my own, I think the more that you make of yourself, you're putting your energy into it. And then the chicho bones and shells. I've used shells as well too. And then this is the small mirror. Do you have a small black scrying mirror or a big one?
I do. I have a small one, and I got it from my mentor, Rosemary Ellen Guiley. And so it's very, very special to me because she's the one who taught me how to do that stuff. But I will scry in any mirror I come across, and especially if it's a haunted location. I'm like, let's open this thing up and see what comes through.
I'm the same way. Fearless with it. Fearless. And not
and my favorite way to scry is to use
ego.
I like
it's
to
not
scry
ego based.
Yes, yeah. And I like scrying with another psychic because the stuff that comes through, and like Kim told you, she and I did this at Lizzie Borden house. And what's Lizzie's? Abby came through right between us. Whoop, up she comes. And I'm like, whoop. And she called Kim names because Kim is Irish and she doesn't like Irish people. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Which is true. Which is true. Did not like Irish people at all. Didn't
Mm-mm.
even want
She wanted,
Irish servants in the house.
she didn't want Kim in the house either. Poor Kim.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So were you using the same mirror and sitting beside each other, or two separate mirrors?
We were using a mirror that was in the
Is it okay
front
for me to
parlor.
ask?
Yeah, no, that's fine. We were using a mirror that was in the front parlor, and I stood up in front. I go, "Ooh, I'm going to scry in front of this thing." So I did, and Kim's like, "Can I join you?" And I'm like, "Yes." So she comes and stands beside me, and we just started seeing stuff. It was pretty cool. Yeah,
Oh
it's a
yeah.
fun thing.
Contessa, so we're gonna scry live on the intuitive mentoring group that I have on Facebook. I'm not sure how I'd have to sit with it if I felt comfortable about doing it as a segment on Spirit Switchboard. I'm not sure if I'm at that place yet, but I'll let it percolate. I'll let the idea percolate for a bit as far as doing it on Spirit Switchboard, but I'm definitely doing it on the porch group. And I've used the Spirit board, and we've done seances over on the mentoring group. I just have never done live scrying with the group, but we're going to do it before Christmas, or through the Christmas holidays. We're going to do it. Yes. And it's going to be great. It will just be great. Melody is saying you would magnify each other if you were
Yes.
scrying together.
Oh,
Like both
absolutely.
energies would amp up even more, right?
Yes, I've got total body chills. Yeah, you feed off of each other. Absolutely feed off of each other, and it makes it stronger.
Do they overlap, or does each location have a different, or each mirror would have a different energy attached to it as well too?
I would think they would
Like,
have different energies attached.
would one come through one, or like group? Yeah. So are you
No,
opposed to purchasing secondhand mirrors, antique mirrors? What do you tell people about purchasing a mirror? You say don't do it?
actually, no, I would. Well, you're probably asking the wrong person, because I would absolutely buy it. I don't mind
Me too.
haunted
I
objects.
purchased look at the mirror that I've got.
Yeah, I don't mind haunted objects.
Wow.
Or attached
And
objects.
everybody's version of how do you know that they are attached? You don't really know they're attached unless you are energetically sensitive enough to tap into it, because everybody's experiences are different. And some people have telekinesis going on because they have their own traumas and they're energetically sensitive, and not realizing that they're creating their own poltergeist experience, not trying to knock anybody, but there's also that, right? So like investigation needs to happen before you can actually say that an item
Right.
is haunted.
Right.
But
Right.
if you're just out at a regular antique market, I count all the Ouija boards and mirrors.
Don't those, I walk into an antique store
when
and I
you go
get
to
a
the antique
headache.
markets.
Yeah, I get a killer headache in there normally, and I get dizzy, and
After a while,
just
I
it's
do.
so much energy. But yeah, you can, for the most part, you can go in and into an antique store and look at something, and if you do psychometry on it, if you just hold it, you're like, this is maybe not for me, or this is for, or yes, this is for me, or I think you could use that skill as well to help you decide whether you're going to take it home. I mean,
Contessa,
yes,
I agree. You're
yeah,
listening to your body and how your body responds to the objects. And Contessa is just sharing, as long as you cleanse it before it comes into your home. And you could buy a brand new couch and have it delivered by somebody who's having a not good day, and their energy's into that brand new couch. So everything you purchase is going to have energy attached to it because it's passed through numerous hands before it gets to you.
Right. So yeah, Contessa, absolutely. I would cleanse anything before it comes in my house. Why not? Just to be on the safe side.
Mm-hmm. And then cleansing in whatever way feels right for you. And if it is attached to a particular heritage background as well too, and being mindful of all of that. Well, Jen, I'm bringing you with me next time. I'm telling you. I'm glad that you were counting the Ouija boards for me when you went the last time, because it makes me laugh, because you just know. And depending on what year, when a certain movie was played, or how many went to the donation bin. But I think energy, I mean, I've purposely purchased dolls that were advertised as haunted, and there's zero energy attached to it. But I also don't feed energy into it. When I got them, there was some stuff that was definitely responsive. But when I brought them into the house, it was very clear, like, you guys are not here as entertainment units. If you would like to sit and hang and chill in my space, you're more than welcome to. And that is the most amount of energy that I've ever given them. And I've had no experiences, and it's been a year and a half, right? So I'm also mindful of the energy and intention that I'm putting into anything, whether it is said to be haunted or not haunted. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it's how it rolls in this house.
It works for you. So
what do you think?
It's good.
What are your
Yeah, no, I think if it works for you, then it's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I don't normally bring haunted objects into the house.
Yeah,
I want it to be my safe space. But I don't mind picking them up and touching them somewhere else.
Yeah, me too. And I mean, I've got those items are here in the space, and I do seances continuously and sessions every day from the space. And there's no, I mean, I'm pretty on top of the clearing, grounding, and rules and boundaries. And I just, if there were energies that were attached to them, I feel they may not have wanted, needing validation that they were recognized, and then just not wanting to be entertainment units, right? Like, so here's a safe place for you to hang out, and we're not going to poke at you all the time. Yep. And that's sort of how things have unfolded. But I bring antiques home into this space all the time, and so far we've done well. Melody is asking for each of us, what is our current favorite divination tool?
You want me to go first?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I've got 3 right now that I can't. I'm a Gemini. I'm never going to have one answer. So I like the Estes method for divination because I think it's a divination tool. I like mirror scrying for divination, and I like oracle cards for divination. And like Kerrilynn said, everything can be a divination tool. I can look at my cute little pair of gloves and use them as a divination tool if I wanted to. But yeah, dark mirror scrying, Estes method, and oracle cards. Yeah, those are my go-tos. How about you, sis?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give you enough time, did I?
Well, the Leo in me. The Leo in me would go, I am my most favorite divination tool.
Look at you. See? Drops my.
I am in the period of. I'm in the era of loving myself wholly and completely. Most of the time. I don't know if I have a particular one that I'm pulled to. That being said, which is odd for me, I found these well, even if you're using oracle cards, do you have a deck that you're pulled to more than others?
I have like 20 decks. And when I read, I use 9 decks of cards. So right now I have like 3 favorite decks.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So. God.
Yeah.
I can't do anything by 1s and 2s.
So
I
what's
have to
interesting for me, I love color. Right? I love color. Color, anything color, clearly I like color. But I found these this oracle deck, and I forget, I think they actually came from Russia, like a long time ago. I got them from Russia and off of Etsy. And they're black and white, but they were like Victorian, and they use like playing cards at the top. So there's that double card with each one where it's the playing card attached to the image, and it's all black and white. And I just can go pretty deep when I'm using these, and I don't always use them. But sometimes if I can feel some energy attached to a session that I'm about to do as far as mediumship, I'll pull 3 cards just so I know the direction that this session is taking me. And it's always accurate and bang on. So I resonate and put a lot of energy into that particular deck of cards. Melody, I agree. It's like asking you what your favorite crystal is. I enjoy all divination tools because I like the history attached to them as well too. I like being able to honor the history attached. The history attached to all of it, and like being able to know that my great grandfather used to do all of this stuff as well too, and really trying to hone in my skills and having him come through in spirit to help guide me with those particular ones, right? Contessa's asking us about Ouija boards. Yes, ma'am. I am all for spirit boards. Use it in all of the seances. I've brought them to venues when I'm doing investigations. Have my sigils on the back. The board was created for me. I know the energy that went into creating the board. I have no issues with using it. How about you?
No, I love them. I think it's a great tool.
You gave 2 thumbs up, right?
Yep. Yeah. As long as you treat it with respect and use the right intentions, it's a tool like any other. And I like showing people that because people are scared to death of them for some reason. Yeah. Well, I know it's Hollywood, but yeah, I like them. However, I will say that if they scare you,
and religion, like there's
yeah. If they scare you for any reason, do not use them as a tool. You don't have to, and you can stay away from them, and that's okay too. You never should be forced to use any tool that you're not comfortable using.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not confident, don't use it if you're not confident, because it doesn't matter what tool it is. If you are not confident, you won't be able to handle whatever energies come through. And so we were doing a seance. We were using the board. We were using the Estes method. I try to have everything when I'm doing the seances, right? To give people that come an opportunity to try things that they may not have access to. So we've got it all happening when we're doing the seances here. And at the time we had a celebrity spirit came through that had not crossed over properly and had a pretty horrific death. And so we had to stop what we were doing and be able to handle that situation properly. And everything was going off. The tripwire on the floor, all the equipment, everything was going off like crazy. And so you really don't know what's going to come through. And if you don't know how to help or properly, then that's where it creates issues. So making sure it doesn't matter what tool you're using, you know how to deal
I
with
like
it.
the idea of using the Estes method during a seance. I think I would like to try to incorporate that. That sounds very interesting. You just gave me another tweak for my
I do
Estes
it all the
method.
time.
Yeah, I like it. And I'm going to say my
So
friend
what
Carrie
happened during
said,
that session? So what happened during that session, because when we are mediums, right, it does have, it changes how the Estes method works. And I saw her face come right up, and she was not in a good space. And she's like, why aren't people helping me? Why aren't people helping me? And I said what she was saying, and I could feel it. And I started to take the headphones off and move the blindfold up. And I said, she's running around the back of the table to the other side of the room, trying to get everybody to pay attention. And she's hitting, like she's touching people as she's going. She's moving whoop, right around the table. As I said that, the tripwire, which was around the table, lit up, bump, 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 all the way around. So everything was going off. And so we stopped, called in our Michael, we lit a candle and helped her cross so that we had, and then we cleared the energy in the room and everybody else, and we ended it. Like we stopped. Michelle Plummer is asking if the technologies we're now using, AI for instance, will be a new way to be used as divination. I don't know.
yeah, I don't, probably am not the right person to
Do you
ask
think
about
AI
that. 'Cause I
can be
don't know.
used for divination?
I don't, well, like we've been saying, anything could.
I
So
don't much about it
probably,
either.
yeah, I'm gonna take a hard pass on that one because I don't.
Yeah.
The only thing I use AI for is to help me write. So, I
Yeah,
don't see why
I'm
not
only
though.
just starting because Tammy, mhm. Tammy Johnnings is asking, what's the difference between oracle cards and tarot?
Tarot cards are a set 70, is it 72 cards. And they have major arcana and they have minor arcana, and they are pretty strict in how you read them. Even if they're reversed, it's a strict, you follow these guidelines. Now you can get intuitive with them, but they are a strict, this card means this card means this card's mean, and then you can start to get. Oracle cards are made by all different authors, all different illustrators. They are, you can look at it and it's more intuitive. They will give you guidebooks, but you basically look at it and then it comes in, the meaning comes into you. And they have oracle cards with all different subjects. So to me, they're easier to use because I don't have to learn all 72 cards and what they mean, if that makes any sense. It's kind of like the lazy man's tarot deck because you don't have all that learning curve with it. You
Yeah,
can pick
so
it up.
yeah. Yeah. And oracle cards are for those quicker answers to things, right? It's those quick responses, something that's happening in the moment. I would make sure that if you're using oracle cards, you're not repeating the question over and over day after day, and you're not asking when you're in a highly charged, emotionally and charged place as well too. You really have to be grounded and centered. And tarot is to shadow work, dig deep into like the long term for sure. But oracle is more like that quick for sure. And even with Oracle, I tell people too, like with Oracle cards, toss out the book. Don't hang on to it. Because if you get to know all the cards, your intuitive self, your higher self is going to give you what that meaning feels like for you. I'm going to show you. Let's do this real quick. If you want to use your Oracle cards are your best intuitive development tool too. If you want to practice with like developing what your intuitive voice sounds like, grab a deck of Oracle cards, and then you're going to give them a shuffle. Spread them out. You're going to grab one and you stick it between your hands and just hang on to it. Or you're going to put it up against your chest and you just hang on to it. You take those full breaths in and you ask your spirit guides to step in and you ask them to give you 2 or 3 pieces of information about the card and you write them down. And you don't need to make it match 100%, but over time you get to learn what your intuitive voice sounds like. So every time you get this was the card that I pulled. Trick or treat. Mischief and play. You have to have a sense of play when you're using Oracle cards as well too. But if you got like the same kind of symbol every time, then every time I see this, it means this for me. You build up what your intuitive language looks like. Because your intuitive language will be different than mine, and it will be different than Lisa's. Yes, maybe so.
Yes, ma'am.
You're so welcome. Runes are the same way. Oracle cards, Melody is saying, I feel Oracle cards give the spirits more words and messages coming through. You're welcome, Kristen. I'm glad that you have been enjoying this. Lisa, I'm so grateful to you for hanging out with me. So grateful that you were hanging out with me tonight.
Oh, I love hanging out with you.
So grateful. Runes, Melody is saying she loves runes. I got a runes oracle deck to help her learn the runes. Has the symbol and meaning on the deck. That's nice too, right?
Yeah.
I just buck the system in so many different ways, though. Like I know that there's tradition attached to the runes as well too. So some of them I really resonated with, and then other ones were ones that were symbols. When I meditated, I got the symbols. So the runes that I have are also symbols that I feel came from ancestors. So, really feeling okay with how you're receiving information and just rolling with it. Yeah. Okay, Miss Lisa, where can people find you?
You can find me on the Facebook at Oracle Readings by Lisa, or just Lisa Crick, whichever way. You can email me at dogsandwolves@yahoo.com. I can't remember what your name is, Richard. I really want to see those pictures, so email those to me. And yeah, I'm just hanging out on Facebook. I don't really have a webpage.
Richard knows how to reach me too, so if there's any issues.
Yeah.
So please head to Oracles by Lisa. You have the most brilliant profile photo on that page too. I love it so much.
Richard, that was so much fun. That was so much fun. I actually went to a bird sanctuary to have that done. I was wearing my kilt. I love it. And I have my picture taken with, I think that one is the owl, but I also had a falcon, and they called it the common vulture, but it was not. Oh, he was anything but common. And he was and he like bonded with me. And the guy goes, "You're taking my job. The bird's bonding with you." And I'm like, "Doesn't anybody else talk to these birds when they pose with them?" And he goes, "No." And I went, "Why not?" So yeah, that was so much fun. So much fun.
That's an honor, eh? How fun.
Yeah.
Fun. Next week on Spirit Switchboard, we have Nancy Timms. She is a former Department of Defense employee, and she is a lifetime contactee. And she'll be here talking about her experiences. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you to the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 and 107.7 FM out of New Orleans. If you are in the United States and stretching out your Thanksgiving celebrations, be safe wherever you are at. If you're in Northern Ontario or Southern Ontario getting hit with all that snow, please be safe and warm. Stay in one spot. Don't travel. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will see you all here next Friday. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Night.